This been a long time coming, guys. Welcome to my podcast. Izinja zeGame. It's been a long time coming. You know, I've been talking to the producers at the back, Ryan. These are the guys that obviously believed in me back in the days, and I'm just excited. You know, it's my first one, and then I couldn't ask for a better company that I have right now. I'm gonna call out his name right now. So, guys, welcome to Izinja zeGame. You know, all powered by MTN, and I've got the legend, living legend. This guy played for South Africa from the under 17, under 20, under 23, Bafana Bafana. Len Muleko might not know this guy because, I mean, Len is like, what, 30 years old. I think also, like, you know, the guys that were born in the early 2000s would never know this guy, but I'm just excited. The stories that he's got, you know, this man, I don't know if I should, like, you know, I don't even know. I've got goosebumps, you know what I mean? Like, Junaid, thanks for coming through, bro. Like, you know, I'm excited. I mean, I just wanted I wanted my first episode to kind of, like, you know, be great, you know? And, like, when I thought about the people that I wanted to bring in, there was a lot. But when I saw you, I think we played football like a week ago. And I told Stig, I'm like, dude, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm launching a podcast, and I would love that man to come and, like, you know, be my first guest at my show.
Thank you.
Thanks
I'm really
welcome,
honored
brother.
to be you first.
Yeah.
And after seeing your performance last week,
I'm old, bro. I'm old, you know?
I think you got an assist.
yeah, but you didn't score that goal, man. I gave you a nice assist, but you didn't score that goal.
Forward, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No stress. You had to wait for me to come back on.
yeah. So, yo, man, I mean, like I said, this is a guy that, like, represented, like, South Africa at the highest level in all different, like, you know, age groups. You went to Malaysia. He played in France. He played in, I think you went to Manchester. You're still in Manchester.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, you and Japi.
Sure.
Yeah, went to Manchester and played for Wits University in South Africa. Played for Pirates. The things that I used to hear about you, bro, like, it's just crazy. Like, I never got to meet you. When I first got to Wits, this name just came up most of the time, and they were just telling me about Junaid and say, like, you know, what a great player. You know, I never got to see you, but the things that everybody was talking about, what you used to do on the field, it was just crazy. But now we're gonna get into that. What you been up to, bro? Like, I mean, it's been a while. A lot of people don't know where you've been. What is Junaid doing lately?
Okay. Lately, I'm sure you know, guys, that I'm only a year back into society. We'll get into it where I was before that. I was a year before that in a rehabilitation facility.
Yeah.
And so the year that I'm back, I've been coaching at Education Through Soccer. I needed to get back into society, interacting with people because I was in isolation for 14 years. You know, but there is no better place for you to reclaim whatever you've lost.
Yeah.
Even time than South Africa. But it boils down to the perception you had created when things were good. Those are the people that's going to come and rescue you.
Doc, you said, like, what, 14 years? Basically,
14 years.
When you, I don't know, obviously, like you said, you went to rehab because what, you were taking some substance,
yeah,
and whatever. So you're out of it right now. You've been clean for how long now?
For 2 years.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
So for 14 years, you were just zoned out. Like,
Zoned
you didn't know
out
what the hell was going
completely.
on. So when you're taking these things, you kind of, like, forget about everything in life.
Look, this thing camouflages everything that is real. So in my case, you lose your mother, but the minute you take again, it's going to be all right. So you don't actually go into mourning. You understand?
Yeah,
Which is important
yeah.
for you to get over and to celebrate the person's life.
Okay, so we're gonna hit it back. So I think we're starting from the back,
Yeah.
the back coming. So I'm gonna, since we're talking about, like, in addiction and all those type of things. So, how was it? Like, how's the family? How did the family, like, you know, take this? Okay, let me start with this. When did this start? When did you start, like,
When I came back from Malaysia, I had a party at my house over a festive season, and it just
How old are you?
didn't
How old
end.
are you? Like, how old are you then?
30. 31.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you started taking, that's when you started taking.
Yeah, it was a party that I had over the festive season in December.
Yeah.
Drinking, and somebody pulled out a bag of cat, and that just didn't stop for the next
You like,
month.
let me just try, like, you know.
Viewers.
I'm going to tell you a story.
Yeah.
So I've been through that situation where, like, I hang with my mates.
Yeah.
And these dudes, they never slept. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
when my wife used to go to somewhere, I used to invite my, like, you know, my friends over, like, I'm home alone, let's come through. And I'm 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I'm tired. I used to go to bed. I'm like, guys, I need to go sleep. This guy used to, like, you know, go on, like, the whole night, right? One time I wake up, I'm like, dude, you guys never slept, but you look so fresh.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you my story. So I used to, like, take these guys to a garage most of the time. They're like, you know, stay here, we're coming. But they used to go buy drugs. I was not aware.
Yeah.
Now, I want to tell you the risk about that. So these guys used to buy drugs and they used to be in my car. So if I had to get, like, you know, the police stop us, they search the car, Josta could have been caught, like, you know, with drugs in the car. And then when I asked them one time, like, why don't you guys sleep and this and that, they're like, you know, what do you see? And I said, guys, I can see there's something that you guys are taking. They took out, like, you know, cocaine, put it on the table. At that point, if I was weak enough to take it, I could have tried it on. Like, you know, maybe if I had an addiction mentality, I wouldn't have stopped. So, not trying to cut your story. So I'm trying to explain to you that some of us went through that, but obviously it went differently with you when you had a party at home.
For sure.
So then, these guys take out, like, crack. What did you say? Why it was crack?
Cat.
Cat. And you just took it that day, and that was it.
And I just took it, and everything seemed so much nicer. The grass was greener. The people looked better looking. They were prettier. You know, everything felt so much better. Like you'd never have a problem. You can even consider making a comeback at that point. The way everything looks so possible.
You're training the next day?
No training. I was finished with soccer.
You finished with soccer, yeah.
Yeah, I was done.
Okay, fine. So, like, you know, now you starting to take this thing every day.
And then...
So you can't live with it, without it. And, like, you just keep
while you're high, one of the guys suggests, let's go to the casino. I live right next to Silver Star.
Okay.
So then you win at Silver Star and the party continues.
Yeah.
So it's back at the Merchant and it's like Hollywood. I had a server in the middle of my dining room table that turns... a glass thing that turns.
Oh, I see that. I see those tables. Yeah.
So if you opposite me, I turn your glass to you. If you on the right, I turn your glass. It was full of drugs. It felt like a movie. So you on my right, I turn the table. I turn the server. You on the left, I turn the server. It was like unbelievable. And you also in your car's roof down. You feeling like you Brad Pitt.
That feels like an Al Pacino movie.
You don't know what is about to eat you.
That sounds like an Al Pacino movie right there.
Bro, you spend all your days looking for Angelina.
Hey, guys, kids at home, drugs are not good.
Not at all, guys.
You know, we're not trying to, like, you know, obviously, like, say that these things are good and whatever. We're just trying to talk about, like, you know, my boy's life, what he went through. And such a great talent, and I think a lot of people kind of, like, didn't see what you're capable of. I've had a lot of things and all that. So are you telling me that when you went to Malaysia, when you were playing in Malaysia, you went to France, you went to...
Let me tell you how I ended up in Malaysia.
Okay.
These people remembered me from a performance 10 years ago.
No ways.
And they called Safa. So when the phone was ringing, I was at home with disciplinary issues with Maritzburg United.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at home and my mother tells me, hey, someone from Safa is on the phone. I say, impossible, because the only time when Safa calls the house is when there's a call-up. I've now been through all the national teams. I know when Safa calls the house.
Yeah.
So I answer the phone and she says, hold on, and I take the call. I say, hi, I'm from Safa. There's a team from Malaysia, the same club, the same stadium where you guys played at an under-20 World Cup, that remembers your performance, and they want to sign you. Can we propose an agent? At that time I was fed up with agents, and we'll get back into that later.
Yeah.
I don't want to say negative things, but let's keep on the positive route.
Yeah.
So I said, yes, please. Give me an agent.
You just said home. You have
I'm
no
at
club.
home.
You have
I'm
nothing. And all that.
disciplinary.
Yeah,
I'm suspended by the club for disciplinary reasons.
How old are you this time around?
I was 29, 30.
Jesus. Okay.
So I said, so Safa gives me an agent. The agent calls me, says, what
Safa
do you-
gives you an agent.
Safa gives me an agent.
So do you know how much that agent made? Like
I went with the agent. It was his first deal. It
So
was
you
his
gave-
first deal. So listen.
What?
Besides
Okay.
me having created opportunities
Yeah,
for
yeah,
other players
yeah,
to
yeah.
go to France after me.
Yeah.
This is an agent's first deal.
First deal.
First
But that's what
deal.
happens in South Africa. I think agents in South Africa, by the way,
Viewers.
right? Most agents, the players do the job.
Funny enough.
Only the agents. Like we're gonna come back to you. Only the agents come in when they have to sign the contract and they get more money than the players. You know what I mean? So I understand what you're talking about. So which team did you play for in Malaysia? What team?
Sarawak.
And how long were you
Sarawak.
there for?
I was there for about a season, just under a season.
Okay, and then I'm gonna take you back a bit. Like you also played in France, and which team was it? And how old were you?
A Racing Club of Lens,
How old were you there when you went?
19.
So was that after, like you joined Wits Juniors, or where were you
Look
like,
at
when you
Wit,
got
I
there?
joined Wits Juniors when I was 8 years old.
Oh yeah, I know. Like that's a tradition that they used to be like that back in the days.
Yeah, so
So that's where you grew up. That's where you learned your football. You didn't play Kokasi. Which suburbs were you from?
I'm from Vleerhof. I live next to Soweto.
Oh yeah,
So as I went about playing,
yeah.
I didn't look at in my first season at Wits, I scored 111 goals.
How old? Whoa.
Under 8. Okay? So it's the first year you're in the Sunday Times. Somebody drops the Sunday Times on your porch.
Yeah.
So you come out, you say, what's the paper? And
Yeah,
they
back in the
say,
days they used to do that,
say,
yeah.
Hey, here you are in the paper.
Okay.
So the headline is the mighty midget, and you could get lost in a pack of pajamas by putting on the field. And they, yes.
Hey, you said 8 years old.
Yeah, and
Were you there with Stanton and them? Like I know Stanton Fredericks is like your
to
friend.
Wits afterwards.
Oh,
And remember
yeah,
the
yeah.
country had just been going through the changes.
Yeah.
We had just
Just after
the elections
that
wasn't
movement and all
long
those type of
before
things,
that.
Yeah. When Mandela came out of prison and all
Yeah,
that.
so you're the only one of your color there.
So there wasn't a lot of colored people out there, like
not
even
even a lot.
blacks.
There was nothing. The only one before me that was there was Zain Musa.
You play what? You played with Zemusa.
Zain Musa was a year older than me, obviously.
What?
But I mean,
Dude.
the standards have been set already. So you can either dribble or you.
I'm with Zain Musa with all those step overs.
Or you don't fit in.
Yeah.
So everybody else of color that came afterwards.
Yeah.
Hey,
So you grew up there, like up until what, the Colts or the under 19s?
no, I was promoted to the first team. I made my debut for Wits first team.
When you were how old? When did they promote you?
15.
And who was that? Who promoted
John
you?
Layton.
He actually promoted me as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So I
that's
don't
all,
think he's got a bad eye for talent.
Yeah, no.
No.
It was
I
Eddie
tell
Lewis
you,
that saw me.
we-
It was Eddie, who was a coach, who saw me. And I think like Wits then, like we're going through rough times. So they were fighting for relegation.
Yeah.
So then he stopped me while he was still dealing with trying to save the team from getting
Okay.
relegated. So when he left, then John Nathan took over. Then he called me up. So great guy as well. So, you didn't know
John
me. if it wasn't for
Layton
him.
left
Yeah.
and Eddie took over.
No,
And that's when I left.
Oh.
Because I didn't get along with Eddie.
Oh.
Because John Layton to me at the time was very close.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, he was my coach under 16. We had a good personal relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Swindon Town together.
Okay.
So, I'll never forget this. Glenn Hoddle was the coach of Swindon Town.
Okay.
John Gorman was the assistant, and John Gorman was an ex-teammate of John Layton.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is how we end up at Swindon Town. Myself, Lavas Muslala, and Abel Shongwe.
Yeah.
That's
Lavas
really,
play for Sundowns, by the way. Yeah.
to avoid self-disappointment as a sportsman, you need to be honest with yourself. You know when you are better than somebody, when you've had a good game, and you know when you haven't performed.
Did you know that you were special when you were like 14, 15, 16, 15? You knew that?
I think growing up and all the fuss made around me, you did know because you're winning so many games, scoring so many winning goals.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah, it did.
So you got promoted to the first team, and then obviously under 17 national call up as well. You get that,
Yeah.
and then going. So the next step was what? Was France, right? Or
Was under 20.
Under 20, you know?
Yeah.
Under 20, from under 20, then what? That's when France came through.
Just to, this many people don't know. During my first season at Wits, we're playing against Swallows.
Yeah.
Okay. Mill Park Stadium. I don't have a clue who's in the stands. It's
Yeah, it's always the case, yeah. It's always the
Steve
case.
Compella and the owners of his Turkish club and coach.
I was going to ask you about that, yeah.
Um,
Steve Compella was already signed. Yeah, in Turkey.
already
He was
signed.
already
At
played
that
there,
time,
yeah.
Steve was the national team captain.
Okay.
After the game, as I'm coming into the, you know, in Wits, when you come through those gates there,
Yeah, small gate. That tunnel was like, yo.
Mr. Palacios is there. Says, Junaid. Now, I played with his son at junior level.
Palacios
So
was
we-
still with Pirates. What was he doing at Wits? Like,
I don't know who he was with, but Palacios, Palacios knew me from even before that. His son used to play with me at Wits growing up.
but he's
So under
training
17 national
training Pirates.
When Palacios was the coach of Bafana Bafana.
Oh.
And
oh.
Trot was under 17 national team.
Yeah.
The first 2 training sessions of the week, Palacios would be involved with Trot in those sessions. This is what we don't have today.
Jackknife.
We have Jackknife, Trot Moloto.
Yeah.
Honestly, there isn't this type. We lost. Like we had a little bit of a differences at the end at Maritzburg, but there's no body like this in our setup right now at junior national level.
Okay. So let's bring it back a bit. So they always, like, people always say, like, you know, I always tell players that, you know, when you play the game, play it as if it's your last game, and you don't know who's looking out there as well.
Yeah.
So you come in, you playing for Wits, and Steve Compella is sitting there with the scouts. They come in to
yeah,
look at you.
sorry,
So now that's why I'm trying to bring you back there.
Yeah, thanks.
So now you coming in, you didn't know at that point that these people are looking at you.
Yeah.
You went out there against Swallows.
Yeah,
How did you play?
Drew the game. I didn't even feel like.
Did you start the game?
I started the game.
Yeah.
Finished the game.
So that's why the Turkish team, like, you know, kind of like spotted you.
Yeah, I think it was. I expected it was between me and they liked me and they liked Steve.
Yeah.
Nicolas. So we were teammates under 17.
Oh yes, national
So
under 17. Yeah.
when they told me, I was like, okay, no stress.
Okay.
Different positions.
They approached you after the game, or like did they talk to your dad or what?
No, they've already got my dad in the stands.
What?
Yeah, and then this.
So back then you didn't even have an agent or anything.
I had
like
an
that.
agent.
Yeah, who was your agent back then?
A guy by the name of, I'll tell you now what his name was. Yes, I can't remember his name. I'll get to his name. I can't remember his name, but
that's
yeah.
okay. Yeah. So
Mr.
you ended up going to Turkey? Did you go there? And for how long were you there?
Mr. Palacios did everything. We became close.
Mr. Palacios did the deal for you.
Everything.
Okay, how much money did you get for that?
To give you an example, we had to meet them in Commissioner Street the next day. I sat in the car. Mr. Palacios gave me his car. He said, bring your father. I was like, yeah, I'm driving. You know what?
Yeah.
This is the big man's car. This is the national team coach. Yeah. And at the time, I'm not sure if he was still with Bafana as he just finished.
He's
But
negotiating. He's negotiating your contract for you.
We
and
performed.
Yeah.
We developed a big relationship.
Yeah.
Very influential in my life on a personal level and on the playing field.
Let's talk about the contract. Like the contract, did he negotiate that contract for you?
Yeah, so my dad ends up at the lawyer's office in Commissioner Street. And the next minute, I just see this guy come and he's got this big jacket on. And he jumps in the car, he takes this jacket off, and I just see dollars.
Yeah.
All falling out of his jacket from everywhere.
Dollars?
Dollars, bro, cash. Dollars, not even pounds. Dollars.
Whoa. So
I'm 15 years old. I've never.
how much money was that?
Dollar when it comes
was
to
the money for
Monopoly.
you? Was the money for you?
Hey, man, let's be getting there, bro.
Yeah. I want to listen to what's the money
He
for
said,
you.
I'm coming now. He goes back upstairs. Comes his more dollars. Just when I arrived at home.
So he leaves the dollars in the car.
He went back up to fetch more.
Okay.
Remember, at this point, bro, they are so paranoid.
Yeah.
We are just back into FIFA. If they must know what's really going on here, we are in trouble. We understand and we now realize how much Wits would ask for you. Because Swindon and Glenn Hoddle was impressed by you.
Yeah.
We impressed by you. So we have an idea what the transfer fee would be. And you've played for them since you were 8 years old.
Yes.
We're not interested in giving this money to the club.
We're giving it to you.
Give it to the family.
So they put it in a car, like you and your dad. You go home with
That
what?
is just-
How many dollars is this? Did they tell you?
They didn't tell me nothing. When we arrived home, when I put the money in on the bed there with my mother, the camera I was laying in the dollars. I was laughing. I couldn't believe it. But at that time, you still don't know.
Yeah, you're young. And
the
you
value of
what? You're
what is
16.
really
You're 16 or
yes.
17 then, yeah.
Look, you really don't know how strong the dollar is.
Yeah.
Right, you gotta stop training with Wits immediately.
So you're leaving when did you get on the plane to go to Turkey at that time?
Within the next week.
You were in Turkey.
Training
with the first team, or you with the under 17s or
with
under
the
19s?
first team.
At 17.
Yeah. And then the room that I initially got after spending the first few nights in Steve's room.
So yeah, Steve was playing for that
Yeah.
team, by the way. Yeah.
Guess who was in the room? Whose room was it?
Whose room was it?
Let's give you a little bit of.
No, come on, you tell me, like, whose room was it were you sleeping in?
Name still written on the wall, big. So I was like, really? Tebogo Moloi.
Did Tebogo Moloi play in Turkey?
Bro.
No,
I'll
I
tell you a
didn't know
story
about that.
about
I
this
didn't
guy.
know about that. Okay, fine. Okay, we're gonna get back. I didn't know that Tebogo played in Turkey. Okay, fine. So Turkey came through. You got the money. I forgot to ask you this before. Like, let me just rewind a bit. Like, at Wits, how much money were you getting? Like, when you signed for Wits at that time, how much money? Just to make sure, like, the young ones understand what these guys used to get paid, right? What is your first paycheck?
My first paycheck for the first year was 1,000 rand.
Like me, same. But $1,000. That's what I
1,000
got as
but-
well. Yes.
But they pay for school fees.
Yes, they did
whatever.
that. They used to do that, yeah.
I used to even send them for school uniform.
They did the same to me.
Yeah, but my school uniform would be bought by so filthy Teddy used to work for this place in Carlton Center.
$1,000.
What's the name of this place? Big clothing shop, man.
I don't know
In
this place,
Stanton City as well now.
Yeah.
Yes. And then so I used to buy my Agnes shoes.
Yes, I want to
They
know
sent
that. What did you do with
vegetable.
that? What did you buy?
Agnes shoes. They sent vegetable.
Great. So you used to wear
Yes, great,
the Rosmoda.
sure.
You used to buy the Rosmodas and the Cavellas.
Yeah, when Phil sees me, he takes out my Lacosta white shirt. I've got an Agnes shoes, Lacosta white shirt, tie,
All right.
works.
Okay, fine. You in Turkey now. How long did that journey, like at Turkey, how long were you there for?
Look, it was almost the season.
Okay.
And these guys, no matter how clued up they were, there was just no way that they were going to avoid having to pay the transfer fee.
So like $1,000 at Wits, you go to Turkey. What does the salary change when you went to Turkey, bro? Like I need to hear this change.
Bro, just that to be honest with you, when I hear what some European players are getting now, then I realized how I was valued as a soccer player. 20,000 US a month.
Back then, what? How much was that back then?
Yes.
Yeah, got my ghost friend there on the side. He's helping me with the notes. Right?
But-
He said a lot, right? 20. Back then, you were getting
Yes.
20,000 US dollars.
But
in Turkey.
don't think that it's all easy and rosy, because all that would be paid to my family. I would then get an allowance from that 20,000.
So the money was just going to mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, like signing on fee, did you get a
I
signing on
think they
fee?
get in Turkey it's a package.
Oh yeah.
So if you take the 20 over the season, gives you how much?
That's like times 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 240.
Do the math.
More.
Yeah, I'm not good with the math.
240.
Right, 240.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
240.
bad. I love the numbers.
Back then, you made like 240
US, yeah.
US dollars.
Yeah. So at that point, you must understand the family has been through major sacrifices throughout your career.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
There's times when your dad used to take you to a tournament in Newcastle and there's no money to get back home. Where he goes into the petrol station and he sells his watch to fill the tank.
Damn, dog.
To get you guys back home.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to your dad on that. Yeah.
When this type and you wanna extend your parents' house. You want to pay it up.
So the money was just going to your parents. You didn't even ask what they were doing with the money.
No,
nothing.
they
You just let
extended
them.
the house and they wanted to go on pilgrimage. I always used to ask them, like, Mommy, what's your dream? Dad, what's your dream? They were very spiritual. Even growing up, we would like to go for pilgrimage, and that happened. They came to Turkey, spent some time with me in Turkey. After they got back to South Africa, they went on holiday in South Africa.
With your money, dog. With your money. Nah, it's all with your money, boy. Yeah, I mean, they sacrificed. They sacrificed. Yeah.
Grown up, what's yours is mine.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke to Stiga. I know you and Stiga are great friends,
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, like, he told me that your dad played like a major role.
Big time.
In your life.
Biggest
and, like,
critic.
Okay.
Biggest fan.
Yeah.
But this guy was... You don't find fathers like this today.
Yeah.
Part of his method of thinking and getting you to be a better player was to activate you psychologically and mentally.
Tell you the truth, yeah. Shouldn't
you
lie
understand?
to you. Yeah.
So,
I do that to my son, by the way. Yeah.
Your first training session with this man, every day, is you need to close your eyes and cross the road 10 times.
So that your pops like training you?
Yeah, so now before somebody opens the door, before somebody rings the bell, you need to open the door.
So you gotta
yes,
be aware of your surroundings.
You need to become clued up with your territory.
Yeah, that's it. As a midfielder, you
So
gotta
that
be like that. Yeah.
If you are sleeping and somebody's coming and breaking in the middle of the night, you'd recognize the footsteps.
Dude,
because you know your mothers, you know your fathers, you know how many rooms, how many doors are hanging.
Junaid, hold up. Was your dad in SA in DF or what? Like what?
Listen, this guy was to a point where I used to wonder, man. You used to scream in the game, go and stand here, move this way, and the ball would come. There, so I was like, this guy would tell you what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah, so you saw, like, the movements before that. Yeah.
Yes, he played for a team called Dynamos.
Was he good? Be honest. Be honest.
When you want to take the man on because you feel you've arrived,
yeah,
he says to me, no stress, do all your shit here. Let's keep the ball up with our heads.
Hold on, Dynamos.
This is gonna be
hold up, right.
Now when somebody tells you, okay, they've got a better brain, then you must know, okay, maybe you stood a chance with your feet.
Dynamos was based in Limpopo, right?
I don't know.
Yes, it was in somewhere in... Yeah.
No,
so he played...
Dynamos was the team, not that Dynamos.
There was one here, yeah.
But I think they were from here, from this area.
So I speak to your boy again, Stiga. Stiga's my boy. Like, he looked after me when I got to Wits, great guy.
Sure.
And he tells me that you got a chance to go to Manchester United.
Yeah.
You and Chapi Mutar.
Yeah.
How did that come about, bro? Like, I mean, how was it? What happened? Like, how was it working with Alex Ferguson? Apparently, you were there for trials and you were asked to play in an FA Cup final for the young ones. Mm-hmm. And did you really play on that? But how was? Just tell me that.
Wits had refused to at that time release the clearance.
Hi guys, you at Manchester, but they don't want to release you.
I don't know what was the way of the thought behind it, but I'd assumed that everything before us even jumping onto the plane to Manchester would be taken care of in that regard.
Yeah.
Because you don't get to sign for Manchester United if you are not tested in a game.
Yeah.
You can be a training player.
Yeah.
And this I only learned at Manchester United.
Yeah.
that there's training players that don't perform on match days.
Who was there when you were when you got like a chance to go trial with Manchester? Like who were the players that were playing back then in your team?
Up front was York and Cole. Right was Beckham, left was Giggs, middle was Scholes. But
they were playing in the first team by then.
Yeah.
You were trialing with what?
Yeah.
With the Colts or what?
Yeah, with the Colts.
Yeah.
With the Colts.
And you just got there. Like, what did you mesmerize them? For how long were you there? For a week?
For a week.
A week they liked you and Jappy.
Yeah.
Were there any of those Colts that went on to bigger things?
Not that I can remember. Not that I can remember.
The one that you.
But there was one player that I did like, and this is where they came about, and a little bit of negativity. I don't want to say what the negativity was, but there was one player that I admired in training, and it was a guy named John O'Kane. But very.
Did he make it to the first team? He was not part of the group that were promoted to the first team.
I think he was part of the group, but didn't last very long in the first team. But he was on another level. So,
dude, are you telling me like Vest just didn't want to give you a clearance? What did they want?
Honestly,
I don't get it. Like, it just didn't make sense.
Football long now.
Yeah.
If Manchester United really wants you,
yeah,
they would pay whatever they have to.
True that. Yeah. True
so maybe we were not really valued, or we're not actually as good as we think we are, because Manchester United didn't break the bank for us.
Nah, come on.
Besides that, we're going to get... But listen, I always say to people, in this game, if you leave the right impression, no matter how bad things become, that impression is going to be remembered and is going to come and save you and benefit you later in life.
Mm-hmm. So then you came back like they didn't...
You came back. The challenge is now to remain motivated, because you have to keep the dream within sight.
So you came back to Vets, like straight up to Vets. Yeah. And you just lost an opportunity, and you know about it, so that they didn't let you go. They didn't want to let you go.
And no, I don't even look at it like that, Josta. To me, at that point, it's failure.
Yeah.
Because you've achieved so much success in the game, you are not ready to deal with disappointment. We get back to mental health issues. That's something like this. If this is a necessary sports psychologists are included in a young person's development,
which we never had back in the days.
You would know how to deal and how to channel your disappointment in the right way.
Yeah. So we didn't have that, obviously, back in the days.
We didn't have that.
Yeah.
But
so you started, come back, played as normal and whatever.
Played as normal.
Yeah. That's but it kind of it affected you somehow.
Didn't work out because I was too young and the red tape to get me over there and to get a family to adopt me. Glenn Hoddle loved you.
Yeah, because I heard about that.
Ferguson.
Like, sorry to cut you there. Like, back in the days when you used to get trials to go play overseas and whatever as a youngster, they would get a family to adopt you. You stay with that family, they look after you while you go into training and whatever. So that's how they used to do it back in the days. I don't know how they do it now. So that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. And I think at 14 it's young. But from a football perspective, when I seen Hoddle play in training, Abel played with the first team. So Glenn Hoddle was on another level. He was playing sweeper at the time.
Yeah.
But he could ping the ball, he could pass, he could read, he'd know where the ball would end up, he could anticipate, he could intercept it like no one else. You know the difference between class and quality.
Yeah, I know. Like those Europeans can kick a ball. Like how they connect with that ball, it's just crazy. I'm gonna ask you something, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I keep on like hearing a whole lot of stuff, and I'm like, no ways, it can't be. Apparently, like, was it like the under-20 World Cup, or what is it? Where did you guys go with the under-20s?
We're gonna get there because coming back to what's after Manchester, to remain focused with the dream study in sight of going to Europe.
Yeah.
Happened in the most unbelievable way, because it's good. It's a good story to write.
Yeah.
So we play African Nations Cup under 20 qualifiers.
Okay.
Okay, home and away.
Yeah. Playing against who?
I think Mauritius and
Come on, you guys could have beat those guys easy.
Tanzania and
Tanzania, Baba. Did you guys beat them?
yes.
Who was in your team? Who was in your team? Give me your the 11
Wayne
players.
Roberts.
Oh yeah, a great keeper. Like
Right back was Japi Mutali.
yeah,
Ashley Makanya.
it was my captain at Vets and your captain as well,
Matthew Booth.
Matthew.
In Viteni Matombo.
Yeah, apparently that guy was like
Yeah, it was good as well.
yeah from the he played for Black.
Mbutu.
I think he played for Black Leopards, right? Yeah.
Mbutu Mangoba Mkize.
AC Mbutu.
Yeah, Mangoba Mkize.
What?
Stanton Fredericks. Steve.
Steve Lukulea, yeah,
Lukulea.
yeah. There was a striker also that played for Chiefs, the short guy. Yeah.
Delron.
Delron
But
Barkley.
no, that's under 20s. Delron
Yeah.
had just gotten injured. I
Oh
think.
yeah. Delron was in like
He
was in German already.
He
yeah.
was in
yeah.
Germany already.
Yeah.
Who
was coaching
Daniel
that?
Matsao, Shakes.
Yeah, Thierry Matsao, that Shakes.
Daniel Matsao.
Shakes was coaching you guys under
Yeah,
20.
Under 20. Yeah, so every qualifier that we played, home and away, I scored. Okay. But now it's time to go to, I think the tournament was hosted in Morocco.
Okay. So you
the
qualify
second-
for what? You want to qualify
Nations
for?
Cup.
Nations
Now
Cup.
you
Yeah.
go to the Nations Cup, you finish first or second, you qualify automatically
For the World Cup, yeah.
You bro, the second week of camp, and the lift opens, and I don't expect the coach to be after 9 still awake. I'm with 2 chicks in the lift.
This was Hey guys, like we're telling the stories and whatever.
No,
These are the
we're
things
telling
that
the
soccer players used to be naughty guys and
So,
whatever. Yeah.
I make as if I don't know these.
What's that, in the morning?
No.
At night.
At night.
They coming to you.
They've already been there since the after
Junaid.
school. Since after school.
So you playing what? You playing when are you playing the game?
Bro, that's me getting ready to go to play African Cup of Nations.
Where you guys camping? Then?
Sports Street Mall.
This guy. Also you
Yeah,
were.
so it
So
was
who was the
easy
player?
after school.
Ryan, who was the player who got caught in the World Cup and he was let go?
Augustine.
Yes.
But anyway,
So I guess you
Hold
guys
on.
are naughty. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm listening.
So, yes, he wants to know who was my roommate, women with.
With
because they
this is
still
this
the
is
same.
Shakes. This is Shakes seeing you. Yeah.
Yes. It wasn't even an hour. My parents was at the hotel. My father then and those players, they found out now who's the player that I'm with, who was involved.
Who was it? Oh no, we can. Okay, we can.
Not
Okay,
a
let's just
chance.
keep that. Yeah.
Not a
Maybe the
chance.
guy's married now, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Whatever. Let's not talk about it.
Maybe.
We're talking
I don't
about
want to
you.
get
Yeah.
involved with-
Okay, fine. So like yeah. So your father comes
my
through to the
father,
hotel
Mother comes through with this person's parents.
with his chick's parents.
No, with the other players.
Oh, yeah.
Sheikh summons them to a meeting immediately. And my dad says to Sheikhs, hold on. Let me find out who is the girls. So when he asked me who is the girls,
This guy was naughty.
my dad went back to Sheikhs. He says, I know who the girls are. It's his friends. You can drop him, not him.
Whose friends is your friends?
My friends.
Oh, so
Yeah, my
so who's
dad
saying
knew
must
the
drop
girls.
you? Who
My
says
dad, let's teach you a lesson.
no? And now you have to go play against Morocco now. This is what the last game of the qualifiers.
But then,
Bro, we qualified already.
Oh, you qualified already?
They can't do the Nations Cup without me.
This guy.
I couldn't even, bro. Now, my dad at the time is the first time I've seen him in years. A little bit angry and disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed. Yeah.
But every day while they were away, I would go back to basics. Waking up before everybody else.
That's what you used to do.
Running.
Yeah.
That's what I
How many
used to
Ks a
do.
day?
I'll do it, maybe I'll keep it realistic, about 7, 8 a day.
Okay. Before you go to school.
Yeah,
Where you
before I
used to-
go to school.
Okay. Yeah.
Before, sometimes if I want to, I run to school also.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. They go to Morocco without
They
you.
go to Morocco without me. They come second. They qualify for the World Cup.
This is the same team, by the way, Ryan, that beat Brazil. That ended up going to the under 23s.
Yeah.
Yeah. They beat Brazil when Ronaldinho was there. And yeah. So you forgot Fabian McCarthy in your team. Was he in the team? Or was he not there? Under 20?
No.
Or only under 23?
No, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So fine. They qualified. They beat Morocco. And then you qualify for the World Cup?
They lost to Morocco in the final, so they're second.
Okay, oh yeah.
And so we qualified for
Oh
the
yeah,
World
okay,
Cup.
that's fine, yeah. That was crazy. So like you go to the World Cup and I hear you get to the World Cup, you played against Anelka. You played...
So we get to the World Cup, first to make the team.
Yeah.
I'm like, gee whiz. Shakes scores me, includes me in the team.
So I mean, they punished you. You missed one game.
Punished me, but included me in the team to go to the World Cup. So for me, this is like, thank God.
Yeah, you get second chance.
Yeah, we play first game South Korea. I was on the bench. No problem.
The star players on the bench.
I'm not used to sitting on the bench.
Of course.
Under 20s. But listen.
Just to prove a point.
I'm waiting patiently for my chance.
You missed. Obviously, they lost against Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah, now I know that you eager to kind of like, guys, you guys are wrong. Okay, I know you want to prove to the coach that, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, let me play for you. But it's putting you on the bench.
I was staying with Steve Compella when we won the Nations Cup.
Okay. That's when you were in
dropped before the squad was announced for the Nations Cup.
When they won, it was the 96.
Yes, he was the captain, dropped, and Neil Toby took over.
Oh,
so I always remember this saying. It is not necessary to change horses while crossing the stream.
Did you understand everything that he was saying every time he was talking to you?
I was with him every day, every second.
The English is like, you needed a dictionary to talk to, like,
I understand. I read this man's books. I read his CD covers. I read everything.
I'm messing with you.
No, you need to understand this guy.
Yeah.
You really, it prepares you for so much more.
So you're playing against South Korea, you're on the bench?
On the bench, South Korea.
Junaid, you're talking to the king of bench or JD.
No, what bench? What? No, I never said on the bench. Bro. Oh yeah, Bafana. Bafana. I was always on the bench. I couldn't understand it.
I picked that up when you didn't make the starting 11 in the Masters game.
Yeah. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, and then
where was I?
Yeah, you're talking about like South sitting Korea. On the bench. South Korea, you're on the bench.
Okay, so I go on.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I go on. I do my thing. We draw the game, but I do my thing to maintain my place as a starter for the second game.
The second game was the second game. Yeah.
France.
Yeah. I need to know the lineup. Who's playing in that France team?
At breakfast, big cake. Happy birthday.
Whose birthday is
my birthday.
Oh, snap.
On match day.
How old are you turning then?
19. I'm turning 19. I'm turning 19.
Yeah. Only 10. This guy he's a legend already. He's turning 19. He's been a legend all along. Yes, 19. Yeah. You get a cake.
And
that's the day of the game.
That's the day of the game. I knew at breakfast already.
Yeah.
The Shakes is going to start me today.
Listen to this naughty boy, like I like the confidence because you need that as a player to know that you know what I'm the best.
Based on your performance, you knew that. Listen, you're gonna claim that starting position again.
Yeah.
And let's get to the game.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, but it's my birthday, and I have no idea what is going to happen.
You didn't know that you're gonna start it.
No, I knew. I could feel I was gonna start. When he announced the lineup, I'm starting.
Who played in your position against? Who started in your position like against Korea? Who started?
Steve.
Steve is always telling us that he's the best player. Can't you were benched by Junaid, Steve?
No.
I gotta interview you about this. I know he's he's my boy as well. Sitting on the bench. He sits on the bench now. The next game.
Under 17
No, I'm talking about the under 20. Like I need to go under 20 now. You come. Okay, they call out there.
Yes, and remember, I'm not going on as a central midfielder.
Okay.
I'm going on as
a winger.
As a winger.
Yeah, left winger.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, Shakes says go inside if you want. Allow Jappy the line to go.
Yeah.
This is what is missing in our football today.
Oh yeah.
There is no evident combination
of the left back and the right
players.
Yeah.
In whatever positions. So
he calls out the team.
Yes,
he says
the game starts and We playing.
Hold up. Is Steve on the bench?
Steve's on the bench.
Steve.
But listen, bro.
Oh, yeah, but carry on. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay, I don't want to get there because oh, sorry. I don't want to love off.
Now, man, just feel free. Yeah.
No.
So, how did you guys? Who were you guys playing against? The players that you recognize that way on that under 20 national team for France.
On the left, left side of defense, Sylvester.
Are you listening to that? You call that team. Come on.
No, so Andre Trezeguet, Anelka, Lucien.
Yes.
They were good.
And now, so this is. Are you aware that that's a team that won the? Was it the '98 World Cup or what is it?
2000 Euro.
Yeah, in 2000, you guys and this group the under 20 group. Can you imagine if you guys grew up together from under 23?
We're gonna get back to the difference between progression and continuity.
Yeah, you're gonna come. So, do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
there's a big difference.
Did you guys beat them? Let me ask you that
No,
question.
they beat us. But now when they score first,
Yeah.
and me and Stanton were friends, and Stanton is calling me as the ball comes from the defense. Stanton is playing with Benny up front.
Yeah.
He says to me, Junaid, come. And he shows me with his hand, come. And I don't know what is he calling me for. Because I don't know a long ball gets played. And as it's on its way to me, he says, come. And I just start running towards him because, listen, there must be a reason this guy
that is calling.
me.
Yeah.
He chased the ball down. Just a volley outside the box. And it just went in. Bro, I ran. And I started
Stiga. I thought that boy.
I ran. I started crying.
Stiga, you know I taught you football, right? Yeah, man, he's a young man. I taught.
The first one to come and celebrate with me was Steve.
What does the score then?
1-1.
Okay. Okay.
Stanton was there. Kiss me, Stanton. Kiss me. I fucking up. Genius.
Stiga, come on, bruh. Yeah, okay. Stiga, stop kissing boys.
Benny had signed for Ajax after the Morocco tournament.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to get to Europe. So...
After missing that chance at Manchester.
Swindon, it was personal.
Yeah.
I had no idea the stage I'm sharing with what pedigree of players were at Monaco, already first team, at... big clubs.
Yeah.
I say big clubs. The France go 2-1 up, and I receive the ball. I swap wings. I go and play on the left.
So you bring Stiga on the right now.
Stiga plays up front.
Is Steve still on the bench?
Steve, I think at this stage he comes on.
For who?
I don't know for who. I can't remember.
Okay. Steve, you came on.
But
I'm checking if you did come on. Yeah.
But I come to the left.
Yeah.
I receive the ball and it's 1-on-1 and it's against B player.
Who's this?
No, Sylvester is marking me.
Yeah, Jesus. What a player.
Once I go past
Former
him,
Manchester player, by the way.
Once I go past him, the rest that was in the line was history. Because even the keeper was killed.
I heard about this story.
This goal was something else.
Yeah, I heard about this story.
2-2 in a World Cup and it's your birthday. It's the 22nd of June.
So like it's 2-2.
It's 2-2. And they beat us 4-2 the game.
How did you guys lose? What happened? How did you guys lose the game?
Listen,
Like what happened?
I think
yes, but
experience.
You lost against the best. I mean, this is the team that won the World Cup.
Listen to the
in
three
Euro.
guys up front.
Yeah. Anelka who?
Trezeguet, Andre. No, really.
Now, okay. But you guys, they disappointed you because I mean, scored 2 goals. Stiga, why did you do that, bro? I didn't know the story. Like now, I'm gonna come for you. Yeah. So it's crazy, bro. Like
I knew that by the time I got to the hotel, my mailbox is full.
but then the lifestyle was crazy. Obviously, great player, but do you think like the lifestyle, how you were living back then, like it kind of like cost you a whole lot of stuff? Were you taking the stuff already by then when you were then?
No.
Okay, by then it was just only the lifestyle, partying and just partying and the girls and all those type of things. Do you think if you stayed away from those type of things, you would have achieved even more than what you have achieved then?
Honestly, look, I'm not a guy. There's no room for excuses.
Yeah.
You set certain expectations.
Yeah.
Your number one duty is to maintain. To maintain that, you need to be consistent as a professional.
Yeah.
Firstly, then allow your natural ability to come shining through, which separates you from the rest.
Yeah.
And you can't rely on your ability only.
That's true. I like that.
You've got to remain grounded.
Yeah.
You've got to know rules are rules.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute you start drifting away from that, later on in life, substance became my addiction.
Yeah.
But my number one addiction
Yeah.
was mood.
So there's a lot of boys that are so talented lately in the game.
Yeah.
And we see them drunk. Like I think the last time I was in Sun City with the kids, and I saw this talented player drunk, inside Sun City, and how people were talking about him. It was so bad for me. And look at this soccer player, talented player, and I would imagine he doesn't understand. He gets away with it now because he's young, but it catches up with you. If only players could really understand. The lifestyle on how you behave.
But we spoke about this off air earlier.
Yeah.
Is that now there's a little bit more guidance from agents and
Yeah.
managers, and you get,
Listen,
people that work
guys,
at the club. But back at your days, I presume.
Every opportunity you get as a parent to train your child to understand a specific way of thinking and sacrifice in order for you to realize your dream. It's every second you've got to implement that.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
If it's time for praise, and this is why I can't understand South Africans, we've got insight to so many different cultures. We're not even going into the genetic study, because if we have to really go into the genetic study and do what Russians do and make our athletes in a lab. But this is the confidence we have in our potential, that it is as good as somebody that's made in a lab.
Yeah.
These are the strengths we can come up with, physically, technically,
because naturally we are gifted.
mentally, psychologically. But so many what a variety of so many different cultures, but we're not getting it right.
What do you think? Do you think that comes from the leaders? Does it come from the coaching? Do you think maybe we're doing wrong in terms of coaching these youngsters?
The egos are so big here.
Yeah.
That there is no synchronization between the first team coach and the under 17 national team coach.
Yeah.
There's a lack of respect, and the 17 national team coach doesn't feel that guy deserves that position.
So there's a lot of jealousy.
There's jealousy.
Yeah. And we got to work as a team because
no
we're all going for the same goal.
Top,
Yeah.
How do you expect, if the child makes the step up, has to take the step up from under 17 to senior team, that he's going to perform? I knew if I take Jabu Mutali and I said Jabu to Mutali, listen, what do you like about Sizwe Mutaung? You would tell me. You'd even tell me his shoe size. You tell me everything about Sizwe Mutaung.
Yeah.
If I asked Sizwe Mutaung,
may his soul rest in peace, by the way.
If I asked Sizwe Mutaung about Chapi,
one of the best left backs now, straight
right back, I think.
Is it right? Is it
Yeah,
left back?
Right.
No, left back.
No, right.
It's right.
Left back was David Inyati.
Oh yes. Yeah.
If I were to ask Sizwe about Chapi, he'd know who he is.
Yeah.
Because that national team used to come and support us at training and at games at under 17.
Yeah.
When they're playing, we go to training and games.
Yeah.
It was one. We knew we were going to win Kosafa Cup because we had Bafana behind us under 17.
So you guys felt it in the air, now we better. We better.
Your stars are then coming in. The guys that you look up to is in your change room.
We've said a lot of things and whatever, and you've been clean for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Right, and we know that there's a lot of boys that probably been going through the same stuff and whatever. what advice would you give them, like in terms of what would you want them to do? I know like some of them
Firstly-
want to get like help out there. How would you actually give them the advice to kind of like go out there and not fall into the same trap that you fell into?
Listen, firstly, the values that your parents have installed in you. Number one, you need to remember spirituality.
Yeah.
You're close to God, you take one step towards Him, He takes 10 steps towards you. That keeps you and your discipline intact. And you can deal with whatever situation you're facing. If you need God to help you to win the final, you ask Him. If you need God to let you get into the team, you ask Him. Remember we said we use every opportunity as training. So use every training session as a chance to improve yourself. If you find yourself going through difficulties in terms of addiction, don't be afraid to ask for help.
It can be alcohol. It can be either. Can be
Yes.
alcohol. Can be drugs. Can be whatever.
Because
But
the
yeah,
one
yeah,
addiction
Yeah.
leads to the other.
Yeah. Okay.
In my case, when I went into the facility, I thought I'm only going in there for substance abuse. I had to go to SAA is Sex Addict Anonymous.
What the hell is that? What happens?
Bro, you deal with, you are soccer players, many different women. You must deal with your issues.
Oh yeah.
Failed relationships, you must really deal with that.
Oh, so
so
it's-
that you
it's
know
wrong.
what it is
Yeah.
to appreciate
Yeah.
and to respect anybody else.
Yeah.
If you want to expect them to respect you, no matter how difficult the situation is, maintain your respect and morals even when you're an addict. So we need to then still teach our addicts today, because fighting the merchants is not going to work.
Yeah.
Coping mechanisms, even when you're using. Pray. Go to church. Don't let it stop that.
So all,
Maintain the respect.
So you're saying like it's all about you decide if you want to let go or not. Nobody
No,
can help
it's,
you. If you don't,
I don't care in
Yeah.
what frame of mind
Yeah.
you know, how high you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't
It's
give
all
you the
about
right
you.
to rape.
Yeah.
You know it's wrong.
Yeah.
You know it's wrong. But if that guy, if he turns his back, I'm gonna take the 20 rand out of his pocket. You do that, you're still committing a crime, committing a sin. Try and maintain those morals.
Yeah.
You know, just keep you out of trouble.
Yeah.
I spent 3 months in prison.
What?
Yeah, 3 months awaiting trial. And I got caught for possession.
So were you what?
So
were you
that-
like what? Were you like locked up, like straight up?
Yeah, my dad stood up in court when I got caught and asked the
This guy's got
judge,
stories for days. Like.
can you please
Yeah,
help
yeah.
us with him?
Yeah.
Don't give us bail.
Oh.
I stood
Keep
up.
him locked up,
I was
yeah.
so high because I smoked out of a flute that night.
Yeah.
I said, this man is not my father. His brother is my father.
But he was helping you. He
He
was
was
helping.
helping. I spent
May his
3
soul
months
rest in
in-
peace, by the way.
Yeah,
Like you know,
thank
like you
you,
know whatever.
thank
So
you.
yeah, when I found out that you lost him, and
Sure.
But yeah, guys, like at the end of the day, like you know, let's stay clean. You know what I mean? You
This-
can never achieve anything if you don't work
takes
hard. You know what I mean?
everything
It takes
away from you.
everything.
There's nothing
Whatever that
that
you
you
put in, that's what you're gonna get out. You know what I mean?
It takes
So
everything away from you.
Discipline,
And it doesn't only
yeah,
affect
yeah.
you, it affects everybody
Yeah.
around you. If you live in the house, it's going to affect everybody.
Yeah.
If you live in the community, because you're doing it,
Yeah.
the neighbor says it's okay for him to do it. It messes up everybody around
yeah.
you.
I mean, we lost a lot of stars, and Wayne Roberts, I played with him at Wits.
Yeah.
You know, he was using substances as well, and a few other players that you know that had so much talent, they just like you know just gave up because of whatever that they were taking. And then I just hope that you know if you, I mean, there's a lot of people that can function well with these things, but I mean, I would still advise the young ones not to go. Like, you know, do this,
Prevention,
stay away from
it's the old,
Sure.
it might sound
Yeah.
cliche, prevention is better than cure.
Yeah. If you had to play five-a-side with me, like, you know, on your five-a-side team, who would you pick?
First one, Sibusiso Zuma.
Okay.
So, are you including yourself in our team?
No, it's your choice.
No, I'm asking
I've got my own team. Like you picking your team.
okay.
I've got my
Alright.
team. You playing against my
So I
team.
got goalkeeper, including goalkeeper is 5.
Yeah, it's 5 years.
Okay, we'll go with Munib Joseph.
Okay. Wait, keeper. Yeah.
Matthew Booth.
Uh huh.
I would go with Chapi Mutali.
You love that guy. Eh?
Yeah, he's my boy.
Yeah.
So I've got how many left?
You got two
Two
more.
left.
Two more. Yeah.
Zuma,
Two.
so one left.
Yeah.
One
you got
left.
one. Yeah. One left. Come on.
Okay, that will substitute with me.
Yeah. One more. Are you gonna play? Obviously, you're the captain. You have to start. Who else?
Sure.
Last one.
Albertina.
What a player. Center, like, captain of Pirates and all of that.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. Like, every Thursday, guys, we're going to be doing this. I'm going to bring in you guys, like, big stars. I mean, isn't it zeGame, Bafetu? I've got the big dog right here. Next week, I'm going to bring you another big guy. We'll let you know who it's going to be. But, keep on checking us on Thursday. Sure, Bafetu.